this box is a $180 driver, and today we're gonna figure out if it can compete or beat my $300 gamer. Now, I've been gaming my Taylormade Sim2 Max for a little over a year. I've never been fit for a driver. I bought this one off the rack and then had a couple modifications done to it that I'll talk about here in a moment. But recently, a company called Next Round reached out to me and asked if I'd be interested in trying a driver that they would send me. And I had to take them up on the offer because my Sim2 is really the only driver I've ever known. So let's go ahead and unbox this thing, see what it is, and talk about it. All right, well, need a knife here. Oh, baby. Ladies and gentlemen, Next Round has sent me a 2023 Callaway Big Bertha. Huh? How about that, baby? All right, so first impressions of the packaging. The head and the grip seem to be wrapped in some bubble wrap, so not too bad at packaging. It's a tight enough box to where it seems like it's gonna be pretty stable. All right, so first impressions of the club as far as like quality and shape that it's in. This is obviously a used club, but my God, it's in really good shape. There's no sky marks on the head. The shaft looks brand new, or at least in really good shape. The grip feels and looks brand new. We'll talk about specs here in a second, but overall quality, I mean, there's like barely any strike marks on the face too. So all in all, this is really nice for 180 bucks, bro. Sick. All right, so specs of these two clubs. Let's talk about the current gamer. Taylormade Sim2 Max. Got it brand new on Amazon at the time it was on sale. Got it for $250 off the rack. Came with a Fujikura Ventus Blue 5S. I'm sorry if I butchered that name. And then I took it to a local golf shop and he did an old-fashioned fitting where it was a wrist to floor measurement and he cut the driver shaft down a 1/4 inch. Got to tinkering with the driver at the range, didn't have the proper tool, caused a hairline fracture in the original shaft. Reached out to Taylormade because it was under warranty. They sent me the brand new, this year's model Ventus Blue 5S and replaced it with the Golf Pride Z Cord mid-size grip. The other thing I'll note, this is a 9-degree head. The guy that I was taking lessons from at the time told me a 21 handicap then to get a 9-degree head driver. Why? I don't know. I haven't been back to the guy since. So I have cranked this all the way up to the higher setting at the hosel to hopefully help with that. That's the current gamer. Outside of first impressions, what I'm curious about is this is a 10.5-degree head. It looks like it's set on neutral and standard, so it looks like it's off the rack pretty much. So I'm excited to try this thing and to test it out. Curious to see what it does to ball flight. The shaft looks like it is a Hazardous Smoke RDX stiff, I think. I'm not used to seeing hazardous shafts, so it's a Hazardous Red Smoke RDX, and that's pretty cool. Now the grip, I've never heard of this brand, bro. Grip 1, and it says ATR Standard Plus 360. It feels really good, and it has an interesting texture on the grip. Much different than the Z Cord, obviously, because this feels like just a straight up rubber grip. Feels like it's got grip. It also doesn't feel like it's going to chew my hands up like the Z Cord tends to do sometimes. I'm pretty excited about this, man. So far, first impressions of quality that comes from Next Round, very impressed. And yeah, dude, it's really sick. So before we head to the range, who is Next Round? Next Round is an online used club reseller that offers every single brand that you can think of and every single type of club that you can think of at a super affordable price. But that's not all that they do. I had to jump on the opportunity to partner with them because they offer things like trade-ins where you can send them your clubs in exchange for new ones. But the biggest thing and the best thing that they do is every year they donate proceeds to the First Tee program, which, in case you don't know, the First Tee program is a program designed to help get juniors into the game of golf. And you guys know I'm all about balling on a budget here on this channel. So if you're looking to upgrade clubs in your bag without breaking the bank, check them out. I've linked them down in the description. All right, let's head to the range and test this bad boy out. I'm excited, man. All right, boys, we're here at the driving range. We're gonna split this up into 2 segments. We're on the grass tees right now to get first impressions of the Big Bertha that Next Round sent me, and then obviously my Sim2 that is my normal gamer. We're gonna hit a couple shots out here on the grass tees, and then we're heading to the mats in the top tracer base to get actual data and see how these two drivers compare. We'll do the same thing. I'm basically gonna hit like a stock tee shot, tee it a little bit lower, and then a really low one, like a fairway finder, and see how both of these just perform out here, and then we'll get the actual data once we get to the top tracer bay. Let's start with the stock. First driver swing of the day, by the way. Not bad, little cutty fade. Okay. Actually, I take that back. Let's hit this third one, like really teed up, see what happens. That was not hit well. Yeah, that was right on like the hosel. All right, let's move on to the Big Bertha. Okay, so I haven't even put a ball down, and this thing is massive. So it's living up to its name. Let's just see what happens. Same thing as I did with my gamer. Just a stock tee shot here. I'm curious how much a 10.5 degree head is gonna help compared to what I have my 9 degree head set at right now. Okay. I don't know, man. Oh, let's tee this one a little bit lower, like a fairway finder. See, I feel like with the Sim2, that would have been just a freaking duck hook. And the sound sounds very good. All right, here's the real test. We're gonna tee this up and try to like swing out of our shoes here. This might have to go on the bag. Every single one of those swings didn't feel good. And the ball flight was just much straighter and less like spinning almost. I don't know what the distance difference is, but we're about to go figure that out. All right, boys, we are in the top tracer bay now. Tried to stay out of everybody's way, but we're gonna start with the current driver that I own, the Sim2. And the way top tracer works, in case you don't know, you hit 5 shots and then it calculates an average for you. I want to do a couple different tests where try just like, you know, what I would do on the course plus like a speed training swing where I'm swinging out of my shoes. So we'll see what we can do with that and just see what the data tells us. But right now, let's just start with on course swing here. Not good. A little bit better. It is windy today, by the way. Oh, we're just cutting them all right now. Last one, here we go. Better. Okay. Let's try the Big Bertha. I'm hoping this isn't like a honeymoon phase because it's a new to me driver. You know what I mean? All right, here we go. Actually went a little left. A little low in the face. Interesting. There we go. Nice. Let's try the swinging out of our shoes and see what happens. Starting with the current gamer, the old Sim2. Just a high cut. Oh, I'm overthinking it. Everything's just a high slice right now. Off balance. It is windy today. Let's try the Big Bertha. Definitely launched higher. I feel like that was more of a heel. Oh, toe. Toe. That was not good. All right, last one. See if we can get to 170. $169. Damn. I'm gonna go home now, review the numbers, and I'll see you guys back home. All right, boys, we are back home from the range, and obviously because I'm using my phone to record this, I can't look at the Top Tracer app in real time, but I do have everything written down. When I talk about the numbers, I don't know if I really believe them for both of the clubs, because you guys saw how I swung it on the grass tees. It was completely different than when we got on the mats. I don't know if it was because I was in a covered area or what, but anywho, excuses. Let's go ahead and dive in. So Sim2, starting with that, the 80% course swing. Our average total distance was 250. Our average ball speed for that segment was 159. Now with the Big Bertha, the 80% swing, the on-course swing, average total distance 250, average ball speed 162. Now the second part that we tested, the swing out of your shoes speed training swing, is as follows. For the Sim2, our average total distance was 243. With the Big Bertha, our average total distance was 264. The Sim2 had an average ball speed during that segment of 163. The Big Bertha had an average ball speed during that segment of 164. Here's where we get interesting though. These two clubs seem to be neck and neck as far as distance, but one club is a hell of a lot more accurate. The offline metric. The Sim2 was 49 yards right offline on average. This is for both segments, by the way. However, the Big Bertha was offline 7 yards left and 7 yards right. The other metric that I'm curious about, the curve metric. With the Sim2, for both segments, the average curve was 35 yards right. And because Top Tracer tells you pretty much everything except club head speed and spin, you can pretty much deduce that obviously the more curvature you have, the more the ball is spinning, so to speak. However, for the Big Bertha, for both segments, the curve was plus or minus 3 yards. So 3 yards left, 3 yards right of curve. And I have a couple other metrics that I wrote down here, but I'm not gonna bore you with that. I think it's safe to say that the Big Bertha is gonna be my new driver. There's an asterisk behind this though. That was the first time I've ever swung that club. I haven't touched it, I haven't seen it. I didn't even think Big Berthas were still a thing. So I think what I gotta do is I gotta spend some more time with it. I think I do need to take it on the course before I actually make my bag its home. But the numbers ain't lying, dude. I think we got a new driver, dude. I just have one problem. It didn't come with the head cover. So let me know in the comments how cringe it would be if I took my current Sim2 head cover and put it on the Big Bertha. Regardless though, I am extremely happy with the club that Next Round sent me. So if you are like me, you're working a full-time job, you're on a tight budget, you got a wife and kids or responsibilities, and you're looking to upgrade, Next Round is gonna be the best place to go. So thank you to Next Round for sending me the driver. Thank you for partnering with me. I'm excited, guys. There's a link down in the description if you wanna go check out everything that Next Round has to offer. And don't forget that they do trade-ins, and they also donate a portion of their proceeds to the First Tee program. So you're not just supporting a company, you're supporting a good cause. And on top of that, a lot of you guys in my community poll had said that the driver is the #1 thing that you would upgrade right now. So why don't you go check out Next Round and get you a new driver. So it looks like we're gonna be updating our bag, but if you do wanna know more about the clubs that I have in my bag and nerd out with all the specs, because I go into great detail, you can check out this video right here. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, hype, and subscribe. And I will see you guys over there.